I had been doing psychopharmacology conferences for Bessel for years. And then he invited this guy, Dick Schwartz. And I said, okay, let me go to this day-long workshop. And so that was the first time I really met Dick Schwartz. And it was one of those like Oprah aha moments, right? When I saw Dick Schwartz talking about how he worked with trauma, it was a game changer for me. And the pieces that were really interesting, IFS or internal family systems, was this. Dick Schwartz talked about getting parts out of the past and having them totally heal, release, and let go of everything they were carrying. That was really new for me. So I had been working with parts for a long time. I had been trained with EMDR. I had been trained in sensory motor psychotherapy, but Dick Schwartz, the founder of IFS, really talked about something different as it relates to healing, like taking parts out of the past and permanent healing. So I got super excited. I got super jazzed about it, and I dove into IFS full force. So I went level 1, level 2, level 3, and then at some point, Dick and I became friends. He asked me to do a trauma training for internal family systems because they hadn't had trauma-specific trainings at that point. So that's a little bit of my history and how I kind of got into the trauma field itself, and then how I got into internal family systems. So today we're going to be talking about associations of IFS and healing. So this is not an IFS course per se, but we are going to use some of the key principles about internal family systems, but we're going to really expand healing here. And I am, again, super excited to be able to do this because this is something that I don't get a chance to talk about that much. We're going to be talking about energy. We're going to be talking about self-energy, what we have, our inherent wisdom within. We're also going to be talking about spirituality. And oftentimes, a lot of these conferences that I do, let's not talk about spirituality, Frank. That's kind of weird. That's a little woo-woo, right? But I'm so thrilled to be able to be talking about that stuff here because in my experience, you have to deal with energy, you have to deal with the self, and often you deal with spirituality, whatever that means to you, as it relates to healing trauma. We're also going to be talking about the ways energy gets blocked. The way trauma is so difficult to heal because there are a lot of things that block access to healing. So that is some of what we'll be talking about throughout the course of our time together. And I'm super excited for you and I to be on this journey together. So why don't we begin?